Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Reading the Red this Friday morning. And it looks a little bit drizzly out there and it's cold as well. And the weekend's coming. Mark chapter 8, verse 20. Then they said to him 12. And then he says, 20, when I broke the 7 for the 4,000, how many large baskets full of broken pieces did you pick up? And they said, 7. So Jesus is on a roll. He's irritated by the fact that they just can't get it. And he comes at them with the 5,000 story, remembering, and he comes at them again now with the 4,000 story, being fed, remembering. And he says to them, presses them because he's frustrated by the fact that they are not getting it. And there is a point where God's patience runs out. There was a place in the Old Testament when God said, I was sorry that I even made man. And in Romans it tells us he gave them over to the deeds of the flesh. And this sense of God being exasperated by this feeling of frustration and irritation because we can't get hold of what he's wanting to say. And there are two numbers that are used in this story. One is 12 and one is 7. And they're both precious numbers as it relates to God. And 7 is the number of perfection. And there are 7 baskets full of these broken pieces left over that are wasted. And so God is not able to just provide for our needs and meet us in the needs that we have as human beings, but he brings about absolute perfection. Whether it's 12 or 7, he brings about perfection in the provision that he provides. And that's why he gets so frustrated, because he's offered to the human race so much, but we won't receive it. We won't get it. And therefore we are, in effect, he's offered it, the very best he's given, and yet it's just there, not being taken, and it could be taken, but we just can't get it. And all of that is because there's so much rubbish in us, in our hearts, that are robbing us of our ability to enter into the fullness of everything God has got for us. Brothers and sisters, we need to take a rain check in regards to who we are as people and ask the question, why aren't my prayers answered the way God said they would? What is wrong in this situation? When are we going to take a check on the things that aren't right as it relates to our relationship with God, rather than just accept it in a kind of a blind faith concept? There are reasons why things don't work the way they have been promised in the scriptures, and God requires that we go and find out why those reasons are. It's not just about living in the dark all the time, trying to feel our way. God has given us a clear directive, and we need to get back to that directive. And that directive is Mark 11:23. Truly, truly, I say to you, whoever says this mountain be taken up and thrown into the sea and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says is going to happen, it will be granted to him. Brothers and sisters, that is truth. And we invite you, God invites you, the Bible invites you to go and investigate what it is that's stopping you from entering into the fullness of everything God has for us. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday morning.